Adam Lambert.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Now, we're going to change the format that we normally do these interviews in, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
What we normally do is put the word out on Twitter and say we're having such and such in, do you have any questions? And if we're lucky, we'll get 5 or 6 we can use that aren't, what's your favourite colour or whatever. Yeah. And we slot them in 5 minutes at the end. The response to you was so extraordinary, unlike anything we've ever had before, not just in terms of numbers of questions, but quality as well.
Oh, good.
Absolutely extraordinary.
That's great.
What we're going to do is do my questions as a 5-minute slot at the beginning, and then devote the rest of it to the fans, because I think it's probably what you'd like as well. So that leads on to my first question, which is what is it about you that has a fan base like that is so kind of devoted and so loyal and so...
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm constantly baffled by the level of commitment. I'm like, really? Me? I don't know, maybe... I do always try to be pretty open and honest and genuine about everything. I try to keep it real. Yeah. And maybe that resonates. I don't know. I think it does.
I was curious, so I asked people, what is it about Adam, and it's the honesty and the openness and the real sense of humour as well was something that was mentioned a lot, and charity stuff. Anyway, well, we'll leave all that for another time. Let's get on to the question. So if we get the Idol stuff out of the way first. Yeah. That's how you sort of came to international attention, was on the 2009 American Idol. You came second on that, and it's certainly been true in this country that people who don't win those shows actually tend to go on to have more successful and high-profile careers. Why, do you have any ideas as to why that might be?
I think it's timing. I think it's right place, right time. I think that maybe... even if the majority of the country votes for you as the winner, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're the person that's going to put the energy, time, effort, and have a label interested in creating a project.
Yeah.
It's, there is a transition between singing other people's music and showing your skill as a singer and being likable. There's a big transition to actually creating original music and having it work.
Absolutely.
I think it's just, and it's trial and error, and some people it works for, and some people it just doesn't connect.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think I'm a very driven, motivated person, and when I want something, I'm very, gung-ho about it. So I think, coming off the show, I was really, really set. I want to make this album. I really want to make it. And I told the label and management, I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do. And I worked really hard.
So winning that wasn't job done, was it, at all?
No, that was opening the door.
Yes, I see.
Wide open. Yeah. I think that the show, I'm so grateful for the show for that type of exposure and that type of platform. You can't really get PR like that in any other scope. I mean, there were 30 million people watching the show every week.
Every week, yeah.
So that's a lot of PR.
Absolutely. You couldn't even put a price on that. You sell it. Okay. Now, it was said at the time, and I think you agreed as well, that perhaps being an openly gay man in America was the reason perhaps you didn't win. Do you think Europe is more accepting of openly gay performance? I mean,
I don't think it's as much of an issue over here at all. And I wasn't out, quote unquote, according to the press. I mean, I've been out since I was 18 to everybody that I meet, but I hadn't actually said the words on the television show. And quite honestly, I didn't say the words because no one ever asked me. It didn't come up.
Sure.
To me, it wasn't an issue. I know some people, having become fans or watching this show, they're like, well, why didn't you tell us? Or why didn't you say anything? And I'm like, it seemed irrelevant to me. How does that have anything to do with me singing other people's music?
And you don't need to be a genius, do you? I mean,
it wasn't like I was hiding it either.
Well, exactly.
I was pretty flamboyant.
That's it.
And so, I think maybe that was part of it as well, as not only the possible orientation, but maybe just my approach to music and my style might have been for some people, and then for the majority of people that actually vote for the show, I think the other guy was more their vibe.
Then again, for years and years in this country, 80% of people probably had no idea about Freddie Mercury. People can be very, very odd like that, can't they, in the mainstream. Yeah. But then, anyway, my final question before we get on to the fan ones is you turned 30 just on Sunday, just gone?
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second, it's a cliche, but I know certainly when I turned 30, you do inevitably end up kind of reassessing, where you are and where you want to go and all that.
Yeah.
Have you been through that process?
I think, I'm just kind of coming into it. I think, it's that Saturn return concept in astrology where, you kind of, everything kind of clicks at 30, supposedly. I feel that. I feel a certain amount of, clarity and it kind of all lined up quite nicely too. I'm turning 30. It's 2012, New Year.
Mayan calendar.
Just started, yeah. Just the New Year just started. The album's coming out. All kind of lined up. I've found over the past few years, you know, with Idol and everything, there's a lot of strange coincidences and synchronicity in my life. So I'm not overly superstitious, but I definitely like feel something. I feel like this next decade is going to be really great. I feel like I have a much stronger sense of identity, both personally and as an artist right now than I ever have. And I feel good. I feel good about the stuff I've created. I feel good about getting it out there and living life.
Well, I don't know if it's coming through in the camera, but the positivity in this room is fantastic. It's great. And it's really early in the morning. Let's get to the fan questions.
Sure, yeah.
Quick one here. Who inspires you more, Madonna or Lady Gaga? This is from Kerry.
Probably Madonna. I mean, she's got a bigger body of work, and she's been around longer, and I fell in love with her when I was young. So I've kind of grown up with her. Although I do think Lady Gaga is really, really clever and a great writer.
Cool. And she's written for you, actually.
Yeah, she wrote Fever on my last album.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I would venture to say, and I'll probably be crucified for even putting it out there, but I think Lady Gaga might be more of a writer than Madonna. But I think Madonna's performance history is such an amazing, I mean, her videos that she's created, everything. I mean, Lady Gaga's done really well, but Madonna has, like, so much material. The material girl.
Indeed, so much material girl.
And it's she's gone everywhere and done everything. So that's the hard thing, is that I feel like it's only logical for people to call Gaga out as a copycat, because Madonna's done everything. And what else can you do as a blonde, like, pop girl, you know?
True. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's kind of a tough road to follow. And then a lot of people say now, like, well, Lady Gaga's done everything already.
Every generation invents its new person that does everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Daxy1 is the name they've given. They said, would you ever consider doing movies? I think you'd be a great vampire. Now, I have to say, the artwork for the new album, Prefacing, had a slightly Twilighty kind of vibe to it.
What about it?
Just you look kind of dark and mysterious and potentially dangerous.
Like I'm going to suck your blood or something.
Perhaps, yeah.
I always love the aesthetic of a vampire. I find it that kind of dark, you know, slightly gothic, high fashion, chic thing. I find it very beautiful. I would love to play a vampire. Sure. Yeah. Sign me up.
Okay. We'll put the word out. Chelsea Downing wants to know, do you plan on releasing another DVD like Glam Nation Live after the next tour? And second part of this question, any plans on coming out with your own clothing or jewellery in the future?
I would love to make another DVD of the next tour. I think it's a great way to commemorate it and give back to the fans who came and supported it as something like a memento. And yes, I would love to design someday. When the time is right, I will probably seek that out and pursue that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody called Alex says it was an honour to meet you in Liverpool. Don't know when that was.
Thanks, Alex.
She'd love to know what fragrance you're wearing at the moment, if any.
I don't know the name of it. It's a black bottle, and there's like an octopus on it, and it's like it might be called Tokyo Rose. It's not the name of the smell, but it's the name of the line.
Okay.
And each one has its own like symbol, and it's the upside down white octopus. It's like a number. I think that I don't know.
We'll look it up after.
It's really good. I really like it.
Okay, good. Yeah. Sarah Bain wants to know. We all know Adam Lambert would love a dog. I don't know if is that true?
I would, yeah.
But she wants to know, what breeds do you like? She likes huskies, by the way. I
like huskies as well. I love the blue eyes. Those are very cool. Yeah. Although I hear they're a little high strung, so I don't know if that would be the right dog. I want a dog so bad, but I'm traveling all the time, so I think it would be quite cruel to try to keep a dog throughout all that. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to take a dog on the road. I think that's kind of tough on a dog.
Kind of dog abuse.
Yeah, I don't really. I think a dog should have like a yard and a place to run around and grass. And so someday I would love to have a dog. I love dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Glad we got that out of the way. So Claire Morgan would like to know: would you ask Adam Lambert what his favourite country to play in is?
Don't ask me my favorite.
Okay.
No, people ask me favorites all the time, and I wish I could figure out what my favorite this or that was. Yeah. I can't decide. I have highlights all around the world. I mean, some great moments. We did great shows here in the UK. There was a great show in Germany. Paris was a really nice night. Scandinavia, Finland, that show in Finland was crazy. New Zealand was amazing. Tokyo was amazing. Sydney. I mean, there were there were a couple shows that probably weren't so great, but there were a lot of amazing shows and great memories. So
great. Well, you shouldn't have to.
And I'm not being overly diplomatic for effect. I really do believe that. So
cool. Okay. Now, I'm guessing this lady here called Donna Taylor, who sent about 30 questions. I've pruned it down to about 10. She's quite possibly your most fanatical fan in this country, anyway. But she wants to know: have you had any opportunities to savour the nightlife in London, and how is it different to the club scene in LA?
I haven't done a lot of going out here. We did a show at GAY 2 years ago, and got to kind of hang out afterwards, and that was cool. Cute boys here in London, for sure. And I went to this place in Mahiki once, where they do those big tropical drinks. I wasn't a big fan. I don't know. It was a bit college, university feeling to me, which is not a bad thing, but I just didn't feel. I felt out of place.
That's the favourite club of the royals, the princes. So
it didn't feel right for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to experience more here. I'm never quite here long enough. So
how long are you here this time?
Like 3 days, and I'm working.
Okay.
So not really going out right now.
Sure. Professional hat on.
Yeah. That's another exciting thing about this year and this project is I spent a lot of time last year writing and singing my album, but and I had a lot of free time too. So I did a lot of leisure, going out, shopping, restaurants with friends, vacations. I'm ready to work.
Yeah.
Which means kind of, shifting the lifestyle habits a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about the album, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I got to hear a couple of tracks, just kind of as a preview thing, last week. And the title track, Trespassing,
it's fun, huh?
absolutely amazing. I mean, that bass line is worth its weight in gold.
It's sticky, yeah.
Is that Pharrell?
That's Pharrell, yeah.
The man's good, isn't he? He knows
he's so good, yeah. His instincts are like razor sharp.
Yes.
And he's also he's very impulsive in his creation. Like, he doesn't second guess a lot. Yeah. He's kind of like, that's it. And he trusts his gut. I learned a lot working with him.
Well, a few people have asked, are there any tracks on the album that particularly stand out for you as favourites?
All 12.
Again,
yeah. It's really, I mean, I executive produced this album, so it's all the tracks are songs that I love.
Sure.
I don't want to be touring next year and singing a song that I'm not crazy about.
Well, another fan question, and I apologise to whoever asked it because I've forgotten their name, but they said, they asked a question which I think a lot of people would like to know. What happens to the tracks that don't make the final cut?
Well, it depends. If it's a good song, I mean, what I would love is, if they don't make the final cut, either save them for a future release if they fit, or give the song to somebody and have somebody else sing it. I mean, I think over this past year, I've really honed my skills as a songwriter, and really feel a lot more confident in my songwriting skills. So, yeah, I think it would be really cool to have another artist sing a song that you wrote.
Especially Lady Gaga, you could return the favour that
way,
couldn't you?
Yeah. Something tells me she wouldn't take a song from anybody. I think she's kind of queen of her own domain.
That's a nice way of saying control freak, isn't it? Yeah,
I'm a control freak too, so I totally get it.
Oh, executive producer.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Donna's questions. Are there any truth in the rumours that you might be playing Sonisphere Festival here in the UK with Queen?
Which festival?
Sonisphere. It's like a rock festival.
Not true.
But that suggests you may be playing a festival, because you asked for clarification.
Maybe a festival. Stay tuned.
Okay. Who would play you in a movie about your life, and what would it be called?
I don't know. What age would they be playing me?
She doesn't specify.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a weird question to ask.
I
think, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay, no problem. You don't have to know the answer to everything. Is there a particular gadget or piece of technology that you couldn't live without?
My iPhone. I'm obsessed, and I'm addicted. And it's like, if I didn't have my phone, I think it would feel like my arm was cut off. Like, I think I have a little problem. I'm constantly checking on there. It's like a security blanket.
Yeah. You
can just call me Linus.
Well, if enough people have a problem, then it becomes acceptable.
I mean, I think we all. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. It's just like whether I'm texting or tweeting or listening to music or watching a video on. I love that it can do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I answer this question?
Probably Siri.
This one's a little bit out there. What do you think your spirit animal would be?
A wolf.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. But a wolf that can swim in water, like a water wolf.
Like a supernatural wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a vampire.
I don't know if it sucks blood though. I think it's more like Well, it probably eats meat. Yeah.
We can pursue that
maybe
later.
it has a lean diet of fish and seaweed.
It's a sushi wolf.
Sushi wolf.
That could be the title of the movie. Sushi wolf. Starring Adam Lambert. Okay.
I love it.
Donna also wants to know how do you take your coffee?
With sweetener, and I love half and half in coffee, like just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, and Donna's final question, thank you Donna for all of these. Do you listen to any current UK music, and if so, who?
I die for Jessie J.
Yeah.
I love her voice. She can sing anything. And I love on the version of the album I got where there's the studio versions and then she has some live. She can sing her face off. I mean, she can sing circles around most of the pop girls out there right now. And I think it's funny, people don't quite recognize how talented she is.
Yeah, and she's got that fierce kind of look as well, hasn't she? I think
she's
she's
got the full package. She's so charismatic and great. I love Adele, obviously. I think everybody does, for a reason. I mean, she's very, her voice is gorgeous and her emotion comes through in it. And I think the songs that she created on her last album are songs that resonate with people, that connect emotionally. I was really inspired by that, actually, on this album when I wrote the darker half of the album, is to really try to show who I am and open up and be vulnerable.
Great. Okay. The final question is going to have to be, because I'm getting the word from the porthole. Amy Curtis would like to know what makes you feel confident and what makes you feel insecure on stage and off.
That's a deep, heavy-duty question. Check out my album Trespassing, and you'll probably know. But that is something about Trespassing that's one of the main themes. Is the first half of it, the light half of it, is kind of celebrating the journey in finding strength of being who you are, and the kind of rebellion against society when you choose to just assert yourself. Yeah. It's also about the search and the hunt for connection, whether it be socially or love or whatever, and how you have to kind of muster up a certain amount of bravado and confidence and swagger in order to go out into the world and find all that. But then the other half of the album kind of deals with the flip side to all that. Sometimes with those highs come really sharp lows, and if you put yourself out there like that, sometimes underneath the surface there's a lot of anxiety that comes with that, or there's heartache that comes with putting yourself out there. Or maybe, one of the other songs on the dark side of the album is about self-sabotage, which is something that I've dealt with a lot in my life, of getting in my own way or not letting myself be happy or succeed. So. Wow, sounds like there's a lot to consider in there. Yeah, and I think, no promises, ladies and gentlemen, but I think I'm going to try to write something in the beginning of the CD book that kind of explains that to everybody before you listen to the music. There's a lot of meaning in all these songs to me. I really feel strongly about them, and hopefully I'll get to print out all the lyrics and you can really kind of get into it. And hopefully by reading the lyrics and experiencing the emotion of the songs, hopefully people get a better idea of who I am under the surface, behind the makeup, behind the camera. Yeah. And in doing so, what I hope for is in understanding me and trespassing into my life, hopefully that allows people to understand themselves as well. Brilliant. Because I think the messages are really, I think we all deal with this stuff. Art as therapy, if you like. Yeah. Okay, well that sounds like a great note on which to end it. Adam Lambert, thank you very much for your time. And Thank you. Good luck with everything that you do. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.